Hi, I'm Tash from Tash's Library. Welcome to my channel, and for my very first video, I'm going to be selecting my October TBR using my prompt game. Before I play my game, I've decided to change up my TBR each month a little bit this time, and I have some anthologies of short stories. And even though I've read a couple of them, I find that I get caught up in novels and then I'm not actually getting to read those. And so I thought it'd be kind of fun to introduce 2 short stories a month as part of my TBR. And the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to have all these little color-coded titles in my little Harry Potter jar, and they color-coded according to the anthology. So I have gold for the big book of science fiction. I have red for the big book of classic fantasy. And I have green for the big book of modern fantasy. All of these have been compiled and edited by Anne and Jeff Vandermeer. And they're pretty cool. There's a nice variety of authors to read from. So let us begin. So I'll try and open this jar, and I'm not going to look at which colors I'm going to pick. I'm going to pick 1 and 2. Ooh, so I've got a green and a yellow. Okay, so the green one. So this is going to be the big book of modern fantasy, and I have selected that one, which is The Kite of Stars by Dean Francis Alpha. Sounds good, don't know anything about it, but I will review it and let you know. The second one is gold, so that will be a science fiction story, and that one is that one, and that is The Game of Rat and Dragon by Cordwainer Smith. That sounds cool, so I'm looking forward to reading that one too. All right, so for my TBR prompt game, I have these multicolored cards. They are all random, they're not color-coded in any way. That just looks pretty. So each of them has a separate prompt. So what I do is I throw some dice. Let's see what I get. So that's a 6. So I count out 6 cards each time. So I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Features space. All right, that's a pretty cool one. For feature space, really easy. I have a lot of science fiction books on my TBR, but I'm going to go this month with The Martian by Andy Weir, and I've been wanting to read this for ages. I have read Project Hail Mary and loved it, and from what I can hear, The Martian is even better. And for those who don't know, I mean, all I know about it is it's a man stranded on Mars and he has to use science to survive, and I like science, so I think I'll enjoy that one. And my second prompt, count 6 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I get my lowest rated. So for lowest rated, I'm just going to go into my Goodreads, and I'm going to go into my want to read, and let's sort it by average rating, and it's taking ages, and reverse it, and I'm reading Lights of Prague by Nicole Jarvis. The Lights of Prague by Nicole Jarvis. I actually bought this book because just on a whim, because I've been to Prague and it sounded kind of cool. I'll just read the back because it actually does sound pretty cool, even though it is my lowest rated book on Goodreads. So in the quiet streets of Prague, all manner of mysterious creatures lurk in the shadows. Unbeknownst to its citizens, their only hope against the tide of predators are the dauntless lamplighters, secret elite monster hunters whose light staves off the darkness each night. Domek Miska leads a life teeming of fraught encounters with the worst kind of evil, bloodthirsty and soulless vampiric creatures. So when Dominic finds himself stalked by the spirit of the White Lady, a ghost who haunts the Baroque halls of Prague Castle, he stumbles across the sentient essence of a will-o'-the-wisp captured in a mysterious container. Now as its bearer, Dominic wields its power, but the wisp, known for leading travelers to their deaths, will not be so easily controlled. That sounds awesome. So I'm really not upset that this is my lowest rated book on Goodreads. And my third prompt, I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A non-human protagonist. Well, that should be pretty cool. A non-human protagonist. This is actually harder than I thought because at the moment I don't have a lot of books with non-human protagonists on my list. However, I do have one on my Kindle and it's by Adrian Tchaikovsky and it's called Dogs of War. I haven't read this before. I don't know much about it, but from what I can tell the protagonist is called Rex and he is sort of a genetically modified dog who's part of an assault unit. That sounds cool. I'm happy to give it a go. And my fourth prompt, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ooh, myth, folklore, or fairy tale. I'm excited about this one. It's a no-brainer for me because I've just got this book and I am quite keen to read it. And I think everyone's reading it at the moment, but that's Stephen King's fairy tale. The title says it all. Perfect pick. And my fifth and final prompt is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Romance. Not my favorite genre, but I can work with this. Romance is not my favorite genre. I have dipped into a few lately and have enjoyed them. But this was a no-brainer. The only romance book I actually have on my to-be-read list at all is A Beach Read by Emily Henry. And this kind of seems good. I bought it on a whim once again. It was super cheap. And this kind of sounds like it's two writers on a holiday trying to overcome writer's block and some sort of romance and shenanigans ensues, I'm guessing. It's a pretty short little book, so I think I should be able to get that pretty quickly. And it could be a good little palate cleanser between some of my other fairly heavy books that I've picked. So the other book I really do need to try and get to this month, or at least start, is Defender of the Imperium by Sandy Mitchell, and this is a Caiaphas Cain omnibus. So this is book 4, 5, and 6 of this particular Warhammer 40,000 series, and I'm going to try and start this because this was lent to me by a friend, and it's quite a chunky little book. So I really need to get onto that as well. I suppose I could have picked this for feature space, but I really want to read The Martian, so I can do it. I have been known to read 10 plus books a month, so maybe I will get to this as well. And my 2 short stories. So thank you for watching, and I will do a bit of a wrap up once I read all these, and I'll have some other videos soon as well. Thank you. Take care.